foods. Yes,
It's Thank you for joining us for another edition of Issuenight, where we talk about...
Oh, sorry. Okay, go, Jay.
The important, serious issues of the day. Really the issues that are left out. And we're here, we're inclusive. And we want you joining us, particularly on the chat, so we can have our inclusive... Tony, stop listening
Come on,
to music.
Tony.
We keep telling
It's
you
a good show.
Pay attention.
Not,
All right.
All right, so just like us, subscribe. Let's do it. Let's get to the first issue. Go.
okay. First set of issues we'd like to call them.
First set. Fast food
Fast
disorders.
food disorders. Mike, why are there fast food disorders?
You know, Jay, when you walk into a store, when you walk into fast food place, when you
Wait, I normally drive. I don't really walk anymore.
when you
anymore.
drive into a
Like,
fast
I
food
own
store,
a car. Like when I was a kid, I walked, but I would never walk.
when you
out.
walk into when you drive into a fast food place, drive-through, there's a lot. It used to be really simple options. You know, you used to have the Happy Meal. You know, you used to have Mick something.
Was there something else besides a Happy Meal? That's all I ever got.
That's all I
as a
knew
kid.
of as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, there's more on. Usually, you're saying there's more on the menu than that.
Well, there's more on the menu than that. Yes. So you know, there's I don't know what they are. What are they? Siena? What do you got? French fries and.
Well, you have the unhappy meal, and now
Wait. No. That's what they're. That's what the unhappy meal is. What? Okay, that's what they're suggesting.
When's the last time you've been to McDonald's?
No, this I'm saying is like this is what's coming out. You know, the unhappy. Okay, so I go to McDonald's. I'm like,
Yeah, you
I'm
got
unhappy.
French fries.
I'm unhappy. Why do I want to buy a Happy Meal? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so they're
depressing.
now catering to you, Mike. They're catering to you and your unhappiness, right?
They are. Well, I'm saying. Well,
Wait, so you're unhappy, and you buy a Happy Meal to make you happy?
no. See, okay. So this is the question here.
Yeah.
The question is, okay. So I'm unhappy.
Right.
Do they know that I'm happy? Do they have a sensing that you're unhappy, so they give you an unhappy meal, or do you buy that unhappy meal because you're unhappy?
So do you have a choice, though? You can buy the happy or the unhappy meal?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're unhappy, you should be able to get the Happy Meal or the unhappy meal. And my question is it cheaper? Because chances are I'm not going to like what's in there. I don't like.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, if you're unhappy, so basically this is a whole new thing. Fast food anxieties. Do you have anxieties? Do you have fast food anxiety? It's like you're a fear of, you know, I don't know name of this, Burger King, a fear of Arby's. I mean, it's a fear of the food.
I'm scared
you know?
of Subway.
Why?
It's just scary.
It's not really in a
ordering
Subway,
everything.
you know.
Yeah, you got to
It's
stand
a
in that line.
tunnel.
Then they have to make your thing, and if they make it wrong, you don't want to be rude and say, "Hey, you took the pepper jack. I asked for Swiss," and you know you don't want to mess them up. There's 5 other people behind you. They're trying to work as hard, right?
And they have the quieter voices, so you can't hear them. You ask
And
them
you
to
have
speak
the
up.
spit guard. You can't. Not only can't you hear them, then you got the spit. You can't. You're like, what? What did you say? And you know, it'd be great if you had headphones, like where I can talk to the person.
So it's not an
with the
airport. It's not an airplane. You don't get to, you know, they don't give you headsets. Okay.
It's a
God, no.
Subway.
It's Subway. Well, anyways, so I think it's important that we cater to everybody's needs. You know, equity, equality,
diversity,
equilibrium,
inclusion.
Well, the truth is,
Aquaman.
people are sensitive people. Well, nowadays and stuff. So they eat their feelings. They want to be able to eat their feelings. You need to have an unhappy meal.
Okay, so
a
you
happy
want,
meal.
Sienna, if you're unhappy, do you want an unhappy meal?
Or do you want a happy meal? They assume everyone wants to be happy.
No,
That's a good
in
point.
the moment, you're unhappy. You want...
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just want to wallow in your unhappiness.
Yeah. What's worse when you're unhappy than having a happy person being right next to you?
Now, is the food as good? Is it the same meal?
No,
or,
it
you know?
can't, because here's the thing. If I'm happy and I'm like, I want to get out of this mood and I want to be unhappy, that unhappy meal better be food I'm not going to like. So,
Well, why would you buy it if you don't like it?
because I want to be unhappy. So I want something that's incredibly disappointing.
Is it edible?
And I think it's edible, Mike, but it's like, you know, the burger is has been overdone. You know, one of those burgers that are overdone. You're kind of like, you bite it and you chew it because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but you're like, I really shouldn't eat this because I may have to go to the hospital.
You know, Jay, isn't that them just saying, okay, you know, it's kind of like the whole paper thing, like, oh, we're gonna go green. You know, now we're not gonna be mailing anything out. Like they're saving billions of dollars. Are they just taking the burnt burgers and basically say those are the unhappy meal, and that way they don't have to throw them out? Or maybe it's 3-day-old ones, like it's unhappy meal.
I think
Recycling.
I actually think the food's the same because, I mean, that's a lot of work to cook differently for depending on your mood. But I think the toy, you know, changes. So if you want the unhappy meal, you get the unhappy toy. And the happy meal, you get the happy toy.
So what is an unhappy toy? Like what toy?
It would be
all toys make you happy.
dejected.
There's sadness from the movie Inside Out. They put that
documentary.
in there a lot. Yeah, and depressed. Yeah, just a lot of sad characters from movies.
Okay,
Ones you can look up from too.
They have low test scores, you know. Like they have a little character with, you know, the report card with like
Or
a
they're
D
just
minus.
sad all the time, yeah.
Or maybe they give you an assessment. They're like, here's what we think of you, and there's like D's and F's on there.
So when you walk in, because they do have that artificial intelligence facial recognition thing. So Jay, they can tell when you walk in, you know, your mood,
yeah,
and you don't even have to order it because it's just like shows
So it
up,
orders
right?
for you.
Yeah.
that's great because a lot of times I don't even know what mood I'm in. I walk in and I'm like, I'm not really sure what I am right now, but it's good like AI's there to tell me what mood I'm in and what I should order.
So if you're unhappy, you might get a rock.
Or moldy food.
So,
Wow.
so I think legally you can get moldy food now because that's saving the planet. So,
But my question is, though,
Recycling.
back to what we were talking about before, is it the fact that you get that they're picking food that matches your mood? I mean, is that important, or do you want something that uplifts you?
No.
Or unlifts you, downlifts you.
That
Like to Jay's point.
d-
So is it a mood altering activity, mood altering food, or is it a mood reaffirming food?
well, no, it's altering. So,
Yeah.
because I went in there and they gave me the anxiety meal, and I wasn't
Oh.
exactly nervous, but then I opened the bag, and then I'm like, now I'm nervous. Now I'm probably gonna have to eat this.
So it's really about control. It seems like they want AI. They want to control you. They want to control your emotions. They're down to the food you eat. Right.
So if I walk in happy, it's gonna like give me an unhappy meal to try and change me.
I mean, it's just what it wants to do. I mean, what would be the reason for any of this? Why would they do this?
Maybe the trend.
Maybe it's what?
The trend? I mean, the trend used to be happiness. Now the trend is like more mellowness. So whatever everyone else is doing, try to copy that.
But I mean, how does that help McDonald's?
Well, when there's a trend, everybody follows the trend and want to be in it. Because
Is that the way
everyone
you
else
are? Is that you just go?
No, I'm homeschooled. I don't follow trends.
Yeah,
No,
No.
there's trends here in our house.
My trends, yes, I start them.
Oh,
like she has a
sorry,
good point
yeah.
because like back in the '90s, it was like there's a trend of like burning your tongue on things. Like
Oh,
people
yeah?
are like, yeah, let's try candles and things, and and
Jay,
you
that
go into
was that was your version of the '90s. That's what you did.
okay. Well,
See, he
I'm
started
just
his
like
own trend.
He did.
I was following some. Maybe I shouldn't have, but you go to McDonald's and the food was extra hot. Coffee was extra hot. So again, they're just following the trend, and people are going out like kind of burning their tongues. You can't really put a Band-Aid on a tongue. It doesn't work.
No?
It doesn't hold on.
Did you try?
I think we've all tried, Tony. We all know that doesn't work, but
Try when I get home.
Not everybody wants to be unhappy, but once enough people go, then the peer pressure starts, and everybody wants to do
Oh.
it. That's what they're aiming for.
Yeah, you got a point. Well said.
So some of the, I mean, I just want to delay this issue.
Delay.
I don't want to delay this issue, but
that's French.
look it up. DEBLAI.
Chablais.
There's a J in there.
Very tasty.
But so there's other foods
Mutton sandwich.
like that they're offering, like McDonald's is doing. It's had chicken McNuggets. It's the cotton McNuggets.
Yeah, I've had them. I mean,
It's-
they're
Isn't
it's
that
deep fried. Most things that are deep fried
It's
are
cotton,
pretty good.
cotton center, which is pretty much unedible. Like your shirt would have cotton in it. But then it's a breaded exterior, which is edible. So when you're eating it, it's like, oh, this is good. And then we get to the middle. I don't know what cotton tastes like, Jay.
Well, it really tastes like something you realize you shouldn't be eating this, and after you digest it, somehow you have to get it out of your system. And that's the thing about it. Like, I eat it because I'm feeling good. I'm saving the planet. But now I know I need to get it out.
It's good. It's fiber, right?
Yeah.
It is fiber. It is edible.
It's the wrong fiber, though, Tony.
Wrong type of fiber, yeah. And then you had the lardsicle, which, that is just lard on like a popsicle, frozen lardsicle.
Oh, lardsicle.
So I mean that I guess if you're sad, you might get that, or if
I think they thought that would go over well because they're like, hey, it looks like a popsicle. It's on a stick. It kind of has this form similar, but it really lacked sugar and taste and edibility and just something that you wouldn't have to bomb it up, things like that.
And then of course the McTick, which basically just like a tick that you chocolate covered. I wouldn't do that.
Like the insect?
Yeah.
Tick? Yeah.
Right. Not.
I'm all for the tick, but you just got to make sure it's screened for Lyme. As long as it's screened, you don't have to worry about, contracting anything. I think I'm good with that. We need to eat more protein.
It's just you're not getting a lot. Shrinkflation, it's really small.
Oh, well, you got to eat a lot of them. So you got to buy more.
They're cheap, Mike.
Yeah.
So.
Protein.
A comment on the cotton nugget. They actually have a drink that goes with it, so you can digest it.
Oh.
It's like a specialized drink.
It's
so
like
you
an
don't have to,
antidote.
Yeah, in a way.
Do you have to go through the line again to get it?
No, well.
You know what I'm saying?
Depends
Like
how
you
you
leave
pay
and you're
for
like,
it.
I'm gonna die if I don't get it, and then they make you buy something else.
I think the
Just
drink
hold your
is
arms up if
actually it's hydrochloric acid, so I think they flavor it a little. It's like lemon lime.
Yeah.
But, it's probably something that just belongs in a test tube. But
If you don't drink it, you will die. But you paid for it, so.
Right.
you can just join us. You're watching Issuenight. We talk about important, serious issues of the day.
Serious
I'm
issues today.
almost ready.
Come on.
Here we go. Sorry, here it is. It's BH EP issues. It's the bubble hockey evacuation plan issue. It's just been instituted in bubble hockey because people realize, in the event of an emergency, we need to get these guys out of the bubble.
Do you have an evacuation plan for a family? I mean, do you, if a fire happens, if something happens, do you have a exit strategy? Do you have it labeled? Do you talk about it? Have you sat down with kids to do it? And then the bubble hockey players, they need it.
Okay,
well, yeah, I mean, the plan is to exit, to leave.
That's the overall wide encompassing plan, Tony.
Right. But the tricky part is you've got to have a meeting place. Right?
You do? No, I don't think you have time to meet.
So in bubble hockey, couldn't you ram all the guys into the center, Tome, under the ice machine? Couldn't, if you jam the sticks, some sticks only go so far, but if you jam it, try to go a little further, couldn't they all converge under the
well, that's not a good meeting place, though.
No.
I mean, if it's an emergency, are we talking about a fire? Are we talking about earthquake?
Yeah.
Talking about some sort of violent intruder.
Yes.
So they shouldn't stay in the bubble, is my thought.
All right. So,
but why should they be meeting during one of these, horrible things happening? Why are they meeting?
Well, they should meet beforehand, so that they know what to do.
Why do they live in the bubble? Don't they just kind of talk, from their little lanes?
Well, however they want to do it. To your point, as long as they talk, and they meet, and they have a plan.
All right. Well, there's
Don't
your
be
problem
shy.
right there.
Don't be shy, Shanna. You're never going to get a word unless you just jump in.
No, Tony, really, you talk way too much. I'm sorry.
All right.
But each bubble hockey has its own escape plan or evacuation. It depends on which one you get.
Everybody's on their own.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, here's the problem, though, Tony. You mentioned, they got to sit there and they got to talk. And when I look at the bubble hockey guys, all I really see is, a molded face. No one had the foresight. Maybe these guys would need to communicate in the event of an emergency. And I don't think they can, Tony. As far as I know, there's no sound that comes out of that molded kind of. It's not even a smile. It's just a.
Maybe mental telepathy, or maybe we just put together a plan for them. Maybe it's up to us.
The humans,
the human sentient folks.
I agree, Tony.
That we come up with a plan, And I think the plan should not include them staying in the bubble. It should, encompass them leaving the bubble and going someplace safe, and then meeting someplace. Maybe we'll meet afterwards.
All right. So
Well, yeah, outside the bubble.
Outside the bubble.
Like you would in a school.
Yeah.
here's a problem. Some people would say it's not a problem; it's a challenge.
Well, I like that,
These
Jake.
guys are
I like that.
bolted. Their legs are bolted to a stick that requires a special security bit to get it off, and the bubble on top of that is screwed down with security bits, so that drunken bar patrons don't get the bubble off. So what do we do about that?
Well, we need a plan. You got to have those keys readily available, readily accessible to the maintenance guy. And he's got to get them out. I don't know how else to do it.
That
Wait,
seems
the
like
maintenance guy, the human maintenance guy, or is there like a bubble hockey
Well,
maintenance guy?
whoever's got the keys, right? Is that the inside guy or the outside guy?
I don't know.
And then you need a backup plan.
Excuse me.
Maybe one of those, the drills that like they're round. They're a saw blade, but they're round. Like if you want to cut a hole in the door. What do you call those? It's a drill, and you cut
Whack-a-mole.
It's
holes.
a hammer,
Like
Uh,
round. It's a
An
drill,
Allen
but
wrench.
it's circular,
A
round.
baseball.
Circular
used,
saw?
like, in
To make a hole.
horizontal
Round
fashion.
Hole saw.
Hole saw.
Hole saw, yeah.
Yes.
So maybe you got one of those handy, and then you could actually tunnel your way into the bubble.
Okay.
Sounds expensive.
It sounds difficult. I mean, obviously they can't hold it. That we've talked about I want to get to melting. We realize we can melt them, Jay. We know that we can melt any limb whatsoever from these guys to make them do whatever we want. It just takes time and money and heat, and it really just it's a bad way to live.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't, though, in the event of a fire, maybe we're thinking about this all wrong. Maybe in the event of the fire, it sounds cruel, but hear me out on this. Like, why not put a drain in the center of the bubble hockey arena? Let the fire do what it's going to do to these guys. They kind of come down the drain. They melt down the drain, and then we have casts ready to go, and we can reform them and, get them back in there,
So they melt. They go down the
That's a good
drain.
idea.
That's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Now, how do you separate the U.S. plastic from the Russian plastic?
Well, the
So-
Russian shack we know is going to be cheaper. It's going to be inferior. It's going to separate right away because it's
Okay.
probably not even plastic.
What
So
about their
it'll
soul?
float to the top.
What about their souls? Like, how do you separate their souls? Like, how do you reformate them? Like,
You
start.
probably got to
start-
do like a mind meld, like each one of them to the goalpost or something
beforehand.
beforehand.
part of your plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, or download it somehow. Okay, so that's fire. But what about an intruder, violent intruder? What are they supposed to do, Tony? What is the plan?
Probably the same thing. I mean, if you can melt and disappear down the drain.
Well, if you're going to melt them, should we have a gas line attached to their track?
No, they banned the gas.
Oh, really?
Electric laser, probably like a battery. Should be battery powered, I think.
Okay. It has to be electric because in New York State you can't use gas to melt
Right.
a hockey player, bubble hockey guys. Is that right?
Not going forward.
Okay. Fair enough. If you just joined us, you're watching Issuenight. We're talking about important and serious issues of the day, and I'd like to get to our third set of issues.
Yeah.
which we call
What do we call it?
Mascot PETA.
Oh.
I forgot who did this issue. What are we talking about when we talk about mascots blending with PETA?
Well, PETA wants us to treat
Hold on, what is PETA again?
people into animals.
trying
people
to be
accept Tom and
Trying to be animal like animal.
Alan
Please
Parsons
eat
Project.
Two
Yeah.
animals.
And so the PETA people want the animal people, because animals are people too, not to be subjected to being mascots.
Wait. So the animals aren't subjected? Like we don't put the animals in front of the mascots, and the mascots, what do they do? They kick the
No,
animals
I
around?
mean, like your school mascot might have been the Bulldogs, the Fighting Bulldogs or something.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, fighting, it's cruel to the animal to call them, fighting or to make them, to be on display all the time.
Let's shoot bulldogs.
And
I've never seen a bulldog fight.
Yeah, and there's just some animals that never get picked. You never see elephants. I don't know any team that chooses elephants.
Any school mascot that's an elephant. You're right.
No.
Or
No storks, no
Penguins.
invertebrates. Like we're the invertebrates.
no
you know?
millipedes. What?
Wait, no, the elephant does have a mascot. It's the Democratic
Talking to me.
Party?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Not a
flamingos,
sports
that's what
team, but similar.
it's still a mascot.
Yeah,
Don't degrade them.
Yeah, that's right.
But
So they'd have to give it up. Like
yeah.
the other party, too, the donkey, right? They both have to give up.
Oh yeah, the
They'd have to give it
donkey's
up.
really upset because
Does
it's not
that-
even its correct color.
Does the independent people have mascot animal? They might be okay.
So wait, are we protecting the mascots here? Like, what are they going to do?
Well, there's two. Okay, I don't want to move into the next thing, but I will. Basically, animals. There's the human side where they, there's this whole the animals that aren't mascots want to be mascots, whatever. Choose us, and then there's the actual animals who want separate mascots, want their own mascots. So, like for example, the deer, Jay.
The deer?
The deer.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they want their own mascot.
Oh.
They're big
well,
enough to be a civilization.
like another deer or?
No, like a different animal. Like
Oh.
we want the poodle to be our mascot. Like the poodle.
That's what they said.
I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm just saying that's. I've heard this.
Here's the problem with the deer. Trying to get an answer out of them, like they're, you meet up with them, they just stare blankly at you, then they run away.
Just try to get a flashlight and shine in their eyes. They
Okay.
won't run away.
All right. Well, the problem with that is I still don't know how I'm going to communicate. Like, what animal do you want? We're just trying to properly represent you.
Morse code, Jay. Just start flashing the flashlight in like Morse code SOS or something.
I'm just trying to find this out. I mean, I don't know why I got to learn Morse code just to communicate. With
You can
this.
have an
Okay.
app to do that. You don't need to do it.
Well, I mean, Mike found out that it's the poodle. They want the poodle to be
They
a
did.
mascot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Are the PETA people going to allow the deer to have a poodle mascot?
Listen, they're animals. Okay, they're choosing these mascots. So why would PETA be?
But can animals choose other animals? I mean, why would the PETA people allow that, but not allow my high school to have an animal mascot?
Siena?
And would those animals that they pick be offended that they were picked for the deer? Like, would the poodle agree to be the mascot of the deer?
That's a good point. I mean, if the poodle agreed,
Yeah. I mean, I bet there's some money involved.
Right.
But, like,
There's always
is it
money
worth
involved.
it?
Tony, your mascot for high schools, now they got to be inanimate. So they cannot be an animal. They can't be a person. They can't be an astronaut.
they can pretty
they
much.
can't be an alien.
Yeah.
Can't be a pineapple.
But they can be like a parking stop. So you can be like, hey, we're the Hoover parking stops. Things like that. Or we're the water towers.
Right. I like the water tower idea, Jay.
Yeah.
Because they kind of got the water theme, the guns, they shoot the water cannons and stuff. And then they, at the end of the, because they got a small town, those water towers, the Anchorage.
Yeah.
They have a water tower that at the end of the games, they just like totally release all the water, it's millions of gallons of water at the top, and they just flood the whole place. And then, like all the houses and stuff.
Yeah.
And it has many different, there's many things that come from that. One, it's fun for a little while, and then two, you get the insurance claims.
Yeah.
And then you get to make claims and then make millions of dollars.
Till the cleanup, then people are like, shoot.
Right.
We got to clean up again.
They only do it once. They only have one game a year. What's that?
Yeah, the cleanup is a big problem, especially if you pick certain names. Like, some can be troublesome. Like, there was this one team that wanted to be the Red Flags, but they kept getting too many red flags in the game. So you really got to be particular. And
They kept stopping and doing the replay and the challenge
yeah,
flag. Oh, and the game lasted forever. Yeah.
Right. The other one was the gum shoes. Like it's just basically gum on the shoe.
Oh.
That's the mascot. So they have they got the whole Wrigley's. Hey, and
Yeah, that reminds me of the untied shoes. Yeah, that was
The untied
was
shoes
hard.
that didn't work.
They
well.
just kept falling over.
So they just had like their logo was like shoelaces untied.
And none of their shoelaces were tied, so the players were tripping, the other players were tripping, in both teams. That was a hard game to watch.
The problem is though that most of those, I mean the gum shoes, the water tower, those have all been trademarked, so nobody else can use them. And so pretty much the only thing left is the rock, back down to the rocks. And so every new school that is opening up is, the whatever high school rock.
Yeah, but the problem is then the rocks play the rocks because these two schools didn't get their forms in time. They shoot, everything's trademarked. So now, they're like by default, you're the rocks. And we're like, we didn't even choose that.
Yeah, you know what? These they got to really think about things because like they're throwing rocks into the crowd, dangerous. Like these things just don't work. Like you have these thoughts in a room somewhere with a bunch of elites thinking about like, oh, what this will be, but it's throwing rocks, Jay.
Yeah, no, kids, we keep telling you that not to throw rocks at these games. I know they're the rocks,
but they're the rocks.
And kids are like, well, I'm only throwing the number 2 crushed gravel, and we're like, that number 2 can still cause permanent damage, so we're just asking you to throw the rock that only causes temporary damage, not permanent damage. So please
make sure you're wearing personal protective equipment if you go to these games. Safety glasses, face shields, maybe
Force shields.
abrasive blasting kind of
Helmets.
the leather clothing stuff.
Right.
Bulletproof vests help a lot.
just a lot of consequences when you say stop using animal names. So
yeah, I mean, this is a great issue. Let's think about this and explore other possible mascots because there's got to be some solution here, Jay. I mean, Tony, I don't know where we go next from this. I mean, really, with this issue. I mean, what do we do?
I think we move on to the next issue.
I think you're right.
That's
Jay?
an idea.
Okay. Why don't we get on to our next set of issues? If you just joined us, you're watching Issuenite. This is important and serious. Quite frankly, just issues that you don't hear about recently. So why don't we... it's our last... Oh, wait. We have an issue that we have no idea what the issue is.
Oh.
Do we want to do it, or do we
I
just
don't
want to
know.
have the show?
It's a song review, but I don't have anything called
review.
up.
Oh.
The only one I wanted to...
You want to do the white hole?
We can do the white hole.
Sure, white hole.
That's good.
Right.
Oh, what is
Okay.
the white hole?
So we don't have it typed up, but the issue that we're going to come up with next are these things that are called white holes. Tony, what in the world is a white hole?
Well, we were hoping that our expert crack reporter Wikipedia
It's not on crack.
would be able to give some insight. But basically, you got black holes, which apparently are black, and up in the sky, in the space is black, but black holes somehow are visible, even though it's black, holes on black sky. But white holes are invisible, even though they're white holes. They're white on black, but you can't see them. But they're pretty much the opposite. So black hole, everything like it's drawn in, and then the white hole, everything goes out.
Okay, so if everything's opposites, then everything that goes into black holes usually get torn apart, shredded into nothingness. So if you go into white hole, everything is made whole.
Whoa,
How does that work?
Okay.
Is it
Slow down.
WHOLE or HOL? I think it's HOL.
Well, that's what the diagram there says.
Age,
Yeah.
but we're not saying they're right.
Okay, so if a white hole, so if black hole has lots of gravity,
Lots of gravity.
the white hole has what? Not negative gravity?
Is it anti-gravity maybe?
Anti-gravity, because you would need extreme amounts of energy to even make this happen. But would you be having things only go one way into the white hole? Then you'd have too much mass on the white hole side,
No, everything goes into the black hole.
right? And then it comes out back. Then what happens to the white
Well,
hole?
the white hole, everything goes out.
Oh, I see. So there's another universe that's expanding and we're contracting.
Well, our universe is expanding, isn't it?
We're not sure about that, Tony. I mean, I don't know.
I think they think it is.
They think it is, but I mean,
Yeah.
we're not getting more mass. I'm saying if stuff's going into that black hole, then isn't the white hole side getting more mass? Our mass is leaving from our black hole, our universe.
Maybe it's maybe it's going into the black hole and out the white hole.
This is
there's
this is
an
the
idea.
problem you're getting. You're getting the black hole that's sucking a lot of things in,
Yeah.
and then the white hole spitting them out, and a lot of this isn't biodegrading. So you're getting a lot of junk. If your planet is near a white hole, you're getting all this junk that's spitting out that hasn't biodegraded properly. You're getting like flossers and junk like that. It's clogging like satellites and that. And we're just asking people, just really for crying out loud, if you're near a black hole, be responsible.
Hey, Jay. Everything is biodegradable eventually. Okay, think about that. Let that sink in. Everything's biodegradable eventually.
Not tape.
Eventually.
Tape.
Eventually,
Duct tape?
I can think of a time when it will be biodegradable.
Oh, Twinkies.
Probably not biodegradable. That's a good
Ooh.
point.
All right. So in the meantime, you know, like I said, these little flossers getting caught in the satellites.
Floss is being caught?
flossers, you know, those little. They're
Oh, yeah.
little,
Yeah,
so
I
you
know
don't.
what you're- yeah.
You can reach easier.
Use
You
them
don't
once,
have to
right? And then,
pull it
yeah.
off and wrap tape, or try to get back there. You just easily get it back there, and they're wonderful, but they don't break down. Now they're getting caught in satellites. So now my reception and my internet is. And a lot of people are having internet problems because we are not using biodegradable
Jay,
items.
Can I just give a flosser tip? Would that be
Oh.
okay with this moment? A flossing tip?
Mm.
Like,
I
the
guess.
flossers don't really work great, like kind of between teeth. But if you actually wrap it around the tooth a little bit and use that, you can actually get rid of plaque. I've done that before.
So wait, don't you need plaques? Isn't that good for you?
Like what? Winning plaques? Like bowling or what?
No, well, you're saying you're getting rid of it. Don't you need that on your teeth?
I know
No,
a dog
that's
named Black.
that's something. What?
I know a dog named Black.
Oh.
Was he black? I'm just saying. I think you need to just work the teeth around the. I don't know why I'm getting to this, but I floss, then I brush, then I floss again.
So
Wow.
wait, do you do each side of the tooth?
Yeah,
or do you just do it
I
once?
wrap around the tooth up and down, like
Okay.
the front too, and I just kind of push it against the tooth, and it just takes.
But
it
you
all
got
out.
two sides to like this crack here.
Yeah, you got to go to the left side and around the tooth, and around the right side another tooth.
Yeah, you have to do what? People don't know that.
But then what do you do with the flosser?
Throw it in the black hole.
And that's what people do. Like, hey, it's a black hole. Why not? It's not going to, we'll never see it again. But now we are seeing it again.
Because it comes out of the way.
And now I don't have good internet access. I mean, my speed rate is down. I can't watch, a lot of YouTube. I mean, it's just, my kids, we're trying to homeschool them, and it's difficult. People are just asking you, just please be responsible.
Yeah, I think the black hole is kind of like, like a hole in the floor. It looks dark. But then if you go underneath and you look up, it looks light.
All the light would be on that side.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you jump in the hole, you'd go down, but then you'd appear underneath.
Wait, if
in
I
the
have
other
a
room.
hole in my floor, and if I jumped, should I be jumping through that? I mean, why
No.
would I?
The black hole would suck you in.
It's dangerous. I mean, no doubt about
what's
it.
in my floor? Why is it in my floor? Why do I have to worry about it?
It's just there. I mean, black holes are just there, and white holes must be too. I mean, this stuff's got to go somewhere.
That's still a hazard.
Oh yeah, very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not, for the faint of heart.
Jay, it sounds like a black hole when you're doing it.
I'm
Bad
stressed by
breathing.
this. I don't, this kind of came to do a show, and I just don't need to know, I got to worry about, holes in my floor and black holes and that. So,
Don't worry, I'll get you an anxiety meal.
fair enough. All right. So I think that's about does it for all of our issues. We'd like to thank everyone who
Yeah.
joined us on the chat, even though kind of really didn't really say much, but appreciate everyone, and don't forget to join us for another edition of
Can't go wide. Can't go wide. There we go.
Issuenight.